All right, let's jump into it. So, what I'm going to show you today is a Notion system that I use for cooking better food and keeping track of everything in my fridge and pantry and my grocery list. So, I'm going to go through the full architecture of this, both the operations layer, which is like my inventory and my grocery list, as well as my qualitative layer, which is like the food preferences document that I have and the ingredient pairing rubric that I have, which all together do everything I need to do to cook better meals and shop better for food in my apartment. I will go ahead and jump into it. So, the first thing that I do is keep track of every item that I have in my food inventory. So, this is each is a page in a Notion database. And it took a little bit to set up, but I used Gemini video model to recognize everything that was in my fridge and pantry, and then it only took maybe 5 iterations of tweaks to add and remove a few things that it got wrong, but that created the context layer for everything, all food in my apartment, which was the first step. The second step, I created a grocery list. So this is going to be anything that I run out of. I move it into the groceries list, or if I'll ask the agent if it thinks there's something that I could add to increase the versatility of my list, then I'll have the agent add things in here too. So this is the addition layer, which is anywhere I go shopping, whether it be Amazon or I was at the grocery store, I have this list with me at all times, so I know what I need to buy. So those two things make up the operational layer. That's the asset management. Next, we move on to the qualitative layer, which is like that. These things describe my preferences. So, I built out this framework from a ton of online reviews that I did for restaurants, as well as notes from many of the culinary books that I've read. And it really goes into deep detail as to like my taste preferences, my ingredient pairing preferences, everything that I could possibly think of went in here. It also like says things like how I like to try new foods or I like interesting new combinations. So this is kind of like if I ever need the context for what I like, this has all of it. Now, moving on to the final tactic, which is the scoring rubric. Now, the scoring rubric is what I use to score anything that comes up. I took all of the preferences and turn them into a weighted scoring rubric that I can put any number of recipes into or ideas into, and it'll score them and rank them. So this gives it more of a deterministic quantitative view that allows me to rank things, which wouldn't be possible if I just said come up with a bunch of ideas from the food preferences list. Okay, so to recap, we have the inventory document, which keeps track of all my inventory. We have the grocery list, which is basically my shopping list. We have my food preferences, which is a long list of everything that I like in food and to eat. And we have the rubric, which will actually score. It provides a scorecard for any given flavor pairing or meal pairing. It was built off of the food preference list. So I want to show an example of how these things all come together. So I did this in advance, but here is I said make 10 meal ideas, and I want to eat the tofu in my fridge, but I also want to use 5 other ingredients, 1 vegetable, and the rest are sauces, seasonings, or spices. So you can see how it can kind of like I can give it some parameters, prompt it, and then say just use everything in the inventory, and follow my food preferences. So now it kind of has gotten all the context of what I needed to know. And from there, it took a couple minutes and it popped out all these ideas for simple recipes that we can make. Now, I don't really know which one of these to make, so I have the AI score and rank them on the rubric that we made before. Once you have that, it'll take and score everything, and here you can see it came up with the miso snap pea tofu, which combines white miso, ginger, black vinegar, and the sweet peas into a bowl, which actually I've made something similar to this, and it is really good. But that doesn't really tell you how to make it. So what I'll do then is say, give me the recipe concept for miso snap pea tofu, and then it will put together the cooking concept for how to put this together, and it will give you an idea for the ratios so that you're not, for instance, adding too much vinegar or ginger, which could really throw off the balance. And with all these things together, this makes for delicious food, and it helps me kind of keep track of what I'm using in my fridge and what I can make. In the food that I've made so far is absolutely incredible. So to go from a recap of this, we have really 4 central documents: the inventory document, the shopping list, the preference list, and the ingredient pairing. And really, items will move back and forth. I'll move things back and forth as I run out of items in inventory. I'll move them to grocery list, and when I go shopping, I move them into inventory, and the agent will just do that via prompting. And then in terms of this food preference list is pretty static, and the ingredient pairing rubric is pretty static. I will occasionally change them if I feel like it's recommending one ingredient too much or another ingredient too much, but for the most part, it's been pretty good. And if if you're worried that, hey, like, it's going to keep recommending me this combo, like miso snap pea tofu, because this is LLM, I can just prompt it and say, I want to try to make 10 meal ideas that are Mexican inspired or Italian inspired, and it'll do the same thing. That will use completely different ingredients. I might even explore with like tracking what meals I've made and having it reward for novelty as well. I haven't done that yet, but hey, if you enjoyed this video or if you want any of these documents, if you have any ideas, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely let me know if you want in the comments. Let me know if you want any of these things, because I can certainly share the documents with you. And I think I will soon create another one of these videos about other things I'm using for Notion as well. I'm actually making, I actually have my clothing inventory too, which helps me come out with, matching outfits and good outfit ideas, which has been really helpful as well. But thanks for watching to the end. I'm excited to share this with you, and I'm really excited about how these agentic Notion systems work. I know it hasn't been out that long, only a few months, and I've been using this very heavily. So I think the future is moving more towards these contextual operating systems like this that will know everything that you have and all your stuff and what you're doing, and be able to layer on intelligence with it. So this is just, I'm really passionate about this, and I would love to meet people or talk more about how this works.